Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Another top 10 of the blue variety. This time, I'm gonna do something different. So it's gonna be a top 10, and with each hero, I'm gonna rate how they do on offense, defense, Mythic Titan, and events. So stay tuned, and before you go in, hit the like, subscribe, and comment. At number 10, we have Costume Lassie. She's a rogue class, hits at fast speed. She deals 436% damage to the target nearby enemies and reduces their mana by 10%. She also reduces mana gen by 24%. Costume Lassie has been nerfed. She used to hit at 412% instead of 436, and she used to reduce mana by 20% instead of 10. Also, her mana reduction regen used to be not cleansable. And when she was first released, we would see defenses with 3 of her. And she used to be such a nightmare because she deals a lot of damage. And with the mana reduction, you would just, if you don't fire off your hero pretty fast, she would just annihilate you. She's still pretty good and still relevant. You don't see her as much in defense. So in defense, I think she's still decent. She's outclassed by other heroes though, so that's why you don't see her a lot on defense. On offense, she's still pretty good. And as I said before, and I'll keep saying this, mana control is one of the best abilities in offense. And if you pair her with elemental defense down or defense down, she would deal a lot of damage. On Mythic Titan, she's not that good. There are a lot of heroes that are better than her in blue. On events, not that good as well. So she gets number 10. At number 9, I have Lord Loki. At average speed, he copies the enemy's skill. Simple, special, but very good. On offense, that's where he is best used. He can be used in any war, especially in Rush War, where you can copy Alphaik and other heroes to whatever the situation allows. In other wars, he's good and bad because he can copy, at average speed, he can copy the slow and very slow heroes, but he also can copy the fast and very fast heroes, which requires less style, but he's still awesome on offense, and I think to this day a lot of people use him. On defense, he used to be there when he was first released, not used as much because he's not predictable, and at average speed he can copy fast and very fast skills, which in some occasions it's not the best, but I still see him here and there in some defenses. On Mythic Titan, he's not good, and on events, he's not good. At number 8, I have Water Pipe. Water Pipe is a fighter class, so he can respawn. His passive is awesome, has 10% chance to drop direct damage to 1. At average speed, he summons minions for all allies with 12% HP, 20% attack. Each hit gives the target 30% defense against minus defense against special skills. It also makes the target immune to new status effect for 2 turns. So Water Pipe is an awesome hero, and when he was first released, there's a lot of defenses that used him as tank, and he was very good, and he was such a nightmare to deal with. To top off him giving you defense down against special skills, preventing you from getting taunts and other buffs, he was just hard to deal with. So in offense, he's still very good, and he's very, very much still usable. On defense, though, is another story. So right around January is where they released the Lunar Heroes, and the Lunar Heroes just killed Water Pipe on defenses. With these lunar heroes, they just make these minion useless. They don't do anything. They just are there. And, his minion does not have a lot of HP. It's only 12% HP. So it's not even a good minions when it comes to HP. And that's why a lot of people don't use him on defense anymore. You still see him once in a while, but for the most part, you don't see him on defense. But if a lunar hero doesn't go against him, he is a very good hero on defense. On Mythic Titan, he's not that good, and on event, he's not that good, because you have to remember with these minions, you're gonna have to wait every turn for them to hit the target, and they're gonna waste you a lot of time when you need to hit pretty fast. At number 7, I have Tinsel. She's one of the Christmas heroes. She's a fast speed hero, deals 340% damage to target nearby enemies. She reduces their defense by 14% and further 5% per each ice tile. She also reduces accuracy by 10% and further 5% decrease per each ice tile for 4 turns. In addition, she summons a minion with 7% HP to target nearby allies. So the best use for Tinsel is on offense. She's great if paired with elemental defense down and defense down. She deals tons of damage. In addition, with the accuracy down, there's a chance that the enemy might miss, and that'll give you more time to charge up your other heroes. On defense, she's really good as well. The only issue I have with her is, as with every 3-hit target hero, is that she might hit 2 and not 3. But overall, she's still a pretty good hero, and you still see her on defenses. On Mythic Titan, she's not that good. She has a lot of hero that outclasses her. On events, she might be usable if you don't have an alternative. So for that, she gets her spot. At number 6, I have Mr. Pengy. He's also a Christmas hero. At fast speed, he deals 450% damage to the target. He also deals an additional 130% damage to as many random enemies as minions owned by allies. All hit target receive 159 frost damage over 3 turns. On top of this, he summons an elf minion for target and nearby allies with 7% HP and 10% attack. So I remember when Mr. Pengy was first released, he was a very, very strong hero and almost broke the game. Especially when you have all of the members of Christmas heroes on the same defense. They were such a pain to deal with. And after that, they came out with a nerf for Custom Krampus because he was a rogue and he has taunt for 4 turns and all of that. And I was very, very surprised that they did not nerf Mr. Pengy, which I think Mr. Pengy was the issue, to be honest. And, saw some defenses with 2 Mr. Pengys, and he was just a nightmare to deal with. Now, on defense, you don't see him as much. You have to pair him with other minions, because by himself he might not be that good, but if you pair him with other minions on defense, he might be decent. On offense, he's still very good, especially if you pair him with other minion makers. If you pair him with fast heroes such as Frost or Tinsel, he can get minions and then you fire him off. Even average heroes such as Krampus or Waterpipe, he still deals tons of damage. And if you have 2 of them on a war team and he fires off, he literally annihilates most of the enemies. So he's good on offense. On Mythic Titan, he's one of the best heroes on Mythic Titans, and you'll see the top of the list always with Pengys, 2 Pengys there. On events, he's pretty good. He's very usable. The problem is with the minions, and the animation of the special, it takes a while until it gets done, so it might cost you time. That's why there's a lot of heroes that might outcost him in events. And for that, he gets his spot. At number 5, we have the second costume of Magni. He's a rogue class, so he can evade. He's fast. He deals 285% damage to the target nearby enemies. And he also gives them minus 64% defense against special skills for 4 turns. So his best use is in offense, especially if you pair him with another fast hero. It would annihilate the whole side, especially if you pair him with someone like Tinsel or other fast heroes that hit 3. The fact that he's a rogue as well gives him an advantage because he can evade special skills. The one thing that you have to remember about him is he's a second costume. So he has the costume bonus, which is huge. On top of this, if you pair him with other season ones, he has an additional costume bonus or bonus family of other season 1 heroes. So he's pretty beefy, and he would hit hard even at 285% damage. On defense, he's also pretty good. He has the same issue as other 3-hit heroes, as I mentioned before. He can hit only 2 heroes. But the fact that he's a rogue class, they'll be very good on defense. On Mythic Titans, he's awesome. You can use him with other blue heroes and it would melt the Mythic Titan away. On events, he's also very good on events. He's fast, and he gives that defense down against special skills, and it's going to be very useful. So at that, he gets number 5. At number 4, I have 2 heroes. First one is Krampus. At average speed, he summons an elf minion for all allies with 10% HP and 10% attack. He also gives taunt for 3 turns, and also increases the attack of all allies by 50%. And he increases his own defense as well. So Krampus on offense is where he's best used. He can be used as a stall hero, so you can charge up your other heroes. He also enhances the attack of all your allies, so you can hit harder. And on top of this, with the minions, you can pair him with heroes like Pengi, where he can use the minions for additional damage. So he's still awesome on offense. On defense, he's still good. I still see him in some defenses, especially in Rush War, as an alternative for heroes like Ludwig. But on Mythic Titan and events, he's pretty much useless. The second one is Oniwakamaru. He's a ninja hero, and he has 3 charges. And in each charge, he would boost his health, and he would give taunt, and on top of this, he gives counterattack. The first charge gives that taunt for 2 turns, and then 3 turns, and then 4 turns. And the boosted health and the counterattack increases with each charge. Now, Oni on offense is where he's best used. The advantage with Oniwakamaru is he's a monk, so that he gets the additional 4% mana from the emblems when you emblem him. And if you do that with the 29 mana, or magic troop, I should say, you would charge the first charge at 4 tiles only. And that can be critical, because that'll give your other heroes time to charge up their specials, and it'll give you 2 additional turns. Now, the other thing about him is this taunt is not dispellable, which, to be honest, on offense, it doesn't matter that much, because most heroes you play against on the enemy side, they usually, you have heroes like Panther, which they prevent taunt to begin with, but dispellers are not as common. On defense, though, he's like the other ninja heroes, he's very unpredictable. You don't know when he's gonna charge. And, as I said, I mean, if they can program it where you can charge it always on the first charge, or you can choose if you want to always charge it on the second charge, I think they would be more used. And honestly, he would be very strong because of his undispellable taunt. On Mythic Titan and events, he's useless. At number 3, we have Costume Persis. He's a fighter class. He hits his special at fast speed, deals 305% damage to the target nearby enemies, and they reduces their healing by 100% for 4 turns, and gives them elemental defense down by 68% for 4 turns. And on top of all of this, he gives mana gen to all ice allies for 4 turns. So Costume Persis is one of the greatest heroes among the blue variety. His original costume was very much useless. He's not been used. I mean, when he first came out, people just showed him off, but on defenses, offenses, he's just been useless. And then they came out with this costume, which was very transformative, and he became very strong. So in offense, you compare him with another 3-hit target like Tinzel and the other ones we talked about, and he would just annihilate that side. And on top of this, he would prevent them from healing, which, I'll be honest with you, might not be relevant because, if you hit the 3 side, you're gonna kill them anyway. That effect of decreased healing might be more useful on defense, but the problem with defense is, as with the other 3-hit target, is he can hit only 2 targets. His damage is not that much, that's why maybe in defense he's not the best, but he's still very useful. Like, the reduced healing is very useful at fast speed. On top of this, he's a fighter class, so he can revive, so he can be annoying. But his best use is on Mythic Titan, and he's usually paired with Penguis, and he would just melt the Mythic Titan. And you always see him on the top of the Mythic Titan top hitters. On events, he's very good as well, and can be used with other 3-hit targets, and he would melt the enemies too. So for that, he gets number 3. At number 2, I have Melina. So I might get some pushback about putting her in number 2, as she is being over-crept or power-crept by other heroes. But I still think that she is still one of the best blue heroes. And the reason I say that is, if you look at her special, she has 2 charges as with the other magic heroes. The first charge, she recovers 25% for all allies, and she cleanses elements from all allies. The second charge, she deals 420% damage to all enemies, and she dispels buffs from all enemies. To top all of this, she has that 50% chance to give 10% mana to all allies. So in offense, she is very versatile. She can heal you, she can dispel the enemy, and she is, one of the charge heroes. She can charge in 5 tiles. So, in offense, I think she's still strong, and some people might argue that her second mana charge is not a lot of damage. It is a lot of damage, and to dispel on top of all of this, she just combines everything in one hero. She's, you don't have any hero in Empires and Puzzles that does what she does in a better way. You might have them as solo effect of these heroes, but not a hero that combines everything. On defense, I don't think she works as good because, she has the same problem as the other charge heroes, which you can't predict when they're going to release their special. So she might not be that good. I've seen her in defenses, and I remember there was a phase where they used to put her as tank, which didn't work out. I think, at least from my experience. So her best use is in offense. On Mythic Titan and on events is really not good at all. But still, I think for all the effects that she gets, she can be used in all war types except for maybe Rush War. She might not be as good. But for that, she still, I think, she still is considered as one of the best blue heroes that were released in the game. And finally, at number 1, yes, you guessed it, it's Guardian Hippo. He's a barbarian. At fast speed, he has 3 turns where he deals 225% damage to all enemies each time any other allies cast their special skills. And on top of this, he gives all allies 34% mana generation for 3 turns. So Guardian Hippo, best use is on offense. I think he is one of the strongest heroes in the game. His special is, I dare to say, a little overpowered, if you want my opinion, especially if you pair him with the right heroes. So typically we want to pair him with heroes that, charge up on 4 or 5 tiles, or typically the charge heroes or fast, very fast heroes. And he would give them the additional 34%. So most charge heroes would charge up at 4 tiles. And every time he would give all enemies 25% damage. The cherry on the cake is he does not care about evade. He does not care about taunt. He does not care about any buffs. The other one is counterattack, so he does not, because this is considered as damage over time. So the other good thing about him is he would take any buff that he gets, meaning if you put attack up on him, his damage will increase. If you put defense down on the enemy, or elemental defense down on the enemy, they will take more damage. And to be honest with you, if you can see my last war video before this one, I had charged him up with Morel and second charge of Melina, and he annihilated the whole team. Pretty easy. So in offense, he's one of the strongest heroes. On defense, I still see him in defenses. I don't think he's that good, to be honest with you, on defenses. And the reason for that is first of all, you need to charge him up. And after he gets charged, he needs the other enemies to charge up as well. So, it'll take a lot of turns for that to happen. If that were to happen, though, your team is going to be annihilated. But, for him to fulfill all these steps before he becomes effective makes him not that good, honestly, on defense. Nevertheless, I do see him in some defenses, though. On Mythic Titan, he's not good. On events, he's pretty good. I still see him on events, and he attacks fast and would help out the rest of the team annihilating the whole, minion enemies and whatnot. So he's very good on events. So for that, he gets the number 1 heroes. And with that, we conclude the top 10 blue heroes in Empires and Puzzles. I struggled with some of the other heroes. Some of them might have made the list, but some of the abilities that I have here, they're versatile and they have more than one effect, and with their speed as well. I mean, I'm gonna admit I'm more biased toward fast heroes because that's really where the meta is now. But regardless, if you think that some of the heroes would have ranked higher, or if you think that some of the heroes should have made the list, please let me know in the comment. Like and subscribe on your way out to help my channel. And I will see you on the next one.